I would like to call Independent School District 721 to order. Janelle, please note that Leo Giesen and Kim Holden are not present, and Matt should be joining us hopefully soon. Please rise. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we will start our meeting with the spotlight of success for the New Prague High School Shark Tank winner presentation.
All right. Yes, School Board and Superintendent Dittberner, thank you very much for allowing a presentation tonight. Tonight is going to be the high school, and we are going to showcase one of our programs called the MARS program, Mastering Academics and Real World Skills. We have two of our teachers here, Jane Dittberner and Lindsay Schutte, and they have just a real quick presentation on the entire MARS program, and then they're going to turn it over to three of our students who won an in-class Shark Tank battle. So I'll turn it over to Jane and Lindsay to explain the MARS program and then introduce our students.
Hi everyone, my name is Lindsay Schutte and this is Jane Dittberner, and we would like to share a little bit of information about a unique program that we offer at New Prague High School. Like Tony had said, it's called MARS, Mastering Academics and Real World Skills. This current school year is our 6th year of offering this program, and within the program we offer 4 courses, one that focuses on business, 2 on healthcare, and 1 an intro to education. Jane and I teach the business one. The MARS program prepares students for careers by teaching academic content through the lens of a specific professional field. We meet at First Bank and Trust, and students engage in real-world experiences with curriculum taking a business focus. All of our MARS courses are built upon 5 pillars. The first pillar is working on soft skills. The second pillar is our mentorship program, where we will partner our students with local business professionals. Our third pillar is our guest instructors. We invite a wide variety of business professionals to come in and speak with our students specific to their field. We've had people anywhere from marketing to human resources to finance to even CEOs and small business owners. Our fourth pillar is we bring students on different site visits. These site visits allow students to get a real-world, behind-the-scenes look at how different businesses operate. In the past few years in the business class, we've been able to take students to places such as Target Corporate, to Electromed, to Second Swing, and even the Timberwolves franchise. And then our fifth pillar is, as much as possible, we try to integrate real world content into the class. That could be anywhere from discussing current events with a business focus, to working on resume building, to anywhere from interacting with real people and looking at real issues in the world. This allows students to get a really good feel for what's actually happening, especially if they're going to be choosing some type of career in the business field. So as one of the final projects for our MARS business class, we have students compete in a Shark Tank-like competition. And so Jane is going to explain a little bit about what the project entailed.
Thank you, Lindsay. So as Lindsay said, this is a project that we begin in November. And the students have to either work with a partner or they can choose to work alone. And they have to come up with a unique idea that either is a new product or an improvement to an existing product. This year we had 15 different groups. Some worked alone, some worked with partners. And our presentation was right before the end of the semester. We had local judges. In fact, Matt Goldaddy was one of our judges. And at the end of the event, they selected their top Shark Tank winners that they felt were worthy of an investment. And we invited our top first place group. And we have 3 young ladies who did an excellent, outstanding job. If we had more time, they would deliver their entire presentation to you, but that might take a little bit too long. And they'll explain their process, and they'll talk a little bit about their product that they have. Maybe I'll just have them introduce themselves. Yeah, okay. All right, so ladies.
Oh, I gotta have the music.
I'm gonna hit pause.
It is supposed to go all the way through.
Okay. Yeah, she's telling him to.
Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm Macy. And I'm Bryn. And we came up with the Quickie Razor, and this was the first step to our process, which was to come up with a service or a product. And for our product was the Quickie Razor, which was a 2-in-1 razor, which had the shaving cream inside the handle. And so you would press a button, and right before the razor hit the area where you would shave, the shaving cream would come out, so it was a quick and easier process.
The process of actually coming up with the product was very lengthy. I would say the hardest part of it was coming up with the invention that was unique. And then after we came up with that and solidified that, we had to come up with a name, which was the Quickie Razor, a slogan, it makes for quick and easy shaving, and then our mission and vision statement.
And so I think the easiest way to come up with something was to just kind of live your life and then see what annoyed you. And for us, that was when you shaved, the water would always wash away the shaving cream, so that helped in thinking of this idea. And after we came up with what we were going to make, we had to make a logo, we had to make a mission statement, a vision statement, and we had to come up with a name, obviously. And our mission statement was to make the daily task of shaving effortless, trouble-free, and a one-step process.
With that, we then had to come up with our presentation to eventually give to the sharks. Involved in that presentation included a bunch of financials. So for that, we had to figure out how much it costs to hire an engineer, a designer, a manufacturer, and how we would get the product to companies like Target, Amazon, and how to develop our own website. So that all went into play with our financials, and then we eventually came up with a stake that we would come to the sharks with. We asked for $75,000 for a 10% stake in our company, which would eventually pay for our Quickie Razor.
And another big thing was we had to come up with all the competitors and the marketing plans and all that, and where we were going to sell our product, where we were going to market, who we were going to market to, and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's about it. So.
Okay. Any questions from the board, comments?
Want to know where I can buy them? I have 3 they're not teenage daughters, 2 teenage daughters, but I think that's a great idea. And the concept, and I mean, how thought-provoking for you guys. It's great. So, with the class, what was your greatest takeaway?
That's a good question. For me, I really appreciated the real world experience because all 3 of us are seniors. We will be graduating, and I appreciate knowing that after high school what I will be enduring later on.
For me, it was definitely the resume building and how we had to get feedback on it because I've never made a resume before, and like getting feedback on it and getting told what to change to make it look better and stuff was helpful.
For me, it was probably what Sophie said, like just the real world situation, and like also the soft skills that we worked on really helped. I feel like now we're more prepared for out in the real world.
Well, great. Well, thank you so much for coming tonight. And if you want to come up, we got a little gift for you, and then we'll take a picture. New Prague Times, Patrick will take one too. So come on. Let's give him a hand.
Out of the way. I want to be a Patrick picture. I love it. Okay, we have 2 open forums this evening. Katie Yarby. Katie is going to talk about the high school musical.
Good evening, school board. My name is Katie Yerby, and today I'm here to share with you my thoughts on the high school musical that took place in November. Finally got to the meeting, so I'm here to speak tonight. I'm an alumni of New Prague High School and grew up in the community. I grew up attending many of the plays that took place in the high school, many of which my siblings participated in, such as Peter Pan, Bye Bye Birdie, Old Mother Hubbard, as a few examples of the plays I enjoyed going to as a child. In high school, I also participated in the high school theater through support and design on the costume team or in the costume department, and really enjoyed that experience. So moving back to the community some 18 years later, in November I was invited to the high school musical, The Wedding Singer, that took place at the high school. I would like to start with saying that I hope this message is heard very clearly, that I was extremely impressed with the acting talent of the students. You could tell they put a lot of time and energy into the show. Costumes were great, music and choreography was exceptional, lighting and the sets were done great as well. However, I was extremely disappointed and quite honestly disturbed by the storyline content and the fact that this was reviewed by and approved to be shown in a public school setting, which invited the community to attend. I'm not sure if any of you had the opportunity to attend the play or read the script beforehand, but if you had, I would think you would find some of the content disturbing as well. A few examples of the scenes from the play. Multiple scenes of drunkenness, multiple scenes discussing cheating on a spouse, the grandmother in the show announcing the names and numbers of sexual partners she had had, multiple uses of swear words, which I found out later was actually the tamed down version, where they removed the F word, which was used multiple times in the original script, down to less vulgar terms, which I still found vulgar. Drug references, a scene with the main character singing about how he wanted to die, and then his ex-girlfriend making flippant remarks about him needing to be on antipsychotic drugs. My 3-year-old daughter came with me. Shame on me for bringing my 3-year-old, thinking it would be over her head. My 3-year-old that night in bed said, "Mommy, why was that boy so scared and sad and saying he wanted to die?" My 3-year-old said that after a high school musical. There was also a bar scene where all in the scene were either drunk or drinking and singing about how being single was better than having any woman in their life. These are just a few of the examples from the play. Is this how New Prague High School wants to represent itself to the public? Because that's not the New Prague High School I went to. There was not a scene that left me or the others I was with not cringing. My mother-in-law from out of state joined me at the show. She's a retired 35-year public school teacher from outside the community, and she was appalled that this would be allowed in a school, let alone a community like New Prague that she had heard about so much. The students, if I dare call them children, were put in a compromised position and given a script that was way out of line. You can tell these kids loved theater and put their hearts into it, which makes it just sad that they were put in the position to choose to participate in theater, which they loved, or not, based on the script that was chosen. I was embarrassed for all involved and disturbed that the school would put this storyline on the students that should have never been chosen and never put them in that position. After attending, I talked to others in the community, and the general consensus was from many that they would either not have attended under this director's guidance or even considered attending due to the storyline chosen. This is a shame. The school could have chosen one of hundreds of storylines within the theater community that invited and even made the public excited to attend rather than discourage them like it did for many. I reached out to the school via email after with these similar thoughts that I'm sharing with you tonight. The response I received rather, was one of, in my opinion, excuses, stating that other schools had done it before, and so they thought it was okay. That sounds like a response I would have given my parents in high school, that everybody else was doing it, so I thought it was okay. Is that something we want our school administrators to be telling people? He also said that the students were pleased with their experience. These poor kids have been stripped of so much in the past 2 years, and all they wanted to do was theater and shine in the theater that they love doing, and this was what they were presented with. Of course they're going to be excited because they just wanted to be on the stage, but they would have been excited to be doing The Lion King or Peter Pan again or anything. It didn't matter what the storyline was. These kids just wanted to be on stage. But the director and administration made a very poor choice for these children. This is a taxpayer fund event which is open to and the public was invited to attend. It was classless and distasteful in my opinion. I understand that even a disclaimer of sorts was put out to the public via social media and the newspaper. Why in the world would a play be chosen with a disclaimer attached? Again, please understand that I have great respect for the students who took part in this play. You could see the talent and dedication to theater shine in each of these students. I was extremely embarrassed, though, for the community that allowed this director to choose and approved by many in leadership roles within administration. And then to find out that this was not even the first time this has happened. My understanding is that this director's choices have been brought to the table before and continued to happen.
Katie, I'm sorry, you have 30 seconds.
Okay, perfect. So I ask you as representatives of the school board to please do 3 things. Get your hands on a recording of the play. If you haven't seen it, please watch it. And see if you felt that this was the best representation of our school and our community. And take your thoughts into the consideration the next time play season comes around. Will you allow this type of play to continue in our schools and our community? Thank you.
Okay. Next open forum is Laura Call. Talk about COVID in the parent groups.
Two weeks ago, we received a letter in the mail from the middle school. The letter was in regards to our daughter's attendance. Along with the letter, we received 2 pamphlets. The Scott County Truancy Diversion Services and the New Prague Middle School Attendance Policy and Procedures. Our daughter missed 22 days of school. 9 of those days were because of the school-mandated quarantine. 7 of those days were because she had to have surgery. She had to recover from surgery. She had to attend pre- and post-op appointments. The rest of her absences were because she had cold symptoms. Both the New Prague and Scott County pamphlets state in their plan for success that if a child is truant, the school's responsibility is to, quote, address problems identified as barriers to the student's ability to attend and learn. New Prague's pamphlet also states that the common cold is an invalid excuse for missing school. Invalid. Common cold symptoms also happen to be COVID symptoms. Imagine that. Here is your barrier. Your COVID policies. Your COVID policies have made my daughter truant. You need to remove them. A while back, I proposed a motion for you to stop with the COVID policies. I am again demanding that a motion be put forth of no quarantines. With your current COVID policies, any ailment is considered possible COVID. Even a child getting sick on a tire swing. And yes, I had to remove all 4 of my children from school because my son got sick on the tire swing when someone spun him too fast. Anybody that's gone to grade school and had that happen knows what that feels like. My son told the nurse that is what happened, but because he had 2 or more symptoms of COVID, I had to remove every single one of my children from school, immediately place them in 2-week quarantine, or get them all tested for COVID, or they would not be allowed to return to school. I contacted my child's doctor, and my child's doctor even said that was ridiculous, but complied and tested 1 of my children because it was not necessary to test even that 1 child. But I did not want my child to miss out on his education. End this nonsense. You are making kids truant. You are violating your own plan for success. This needs to end now. Thank you.
Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. Motion for consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Passes 4-0. Committee reports, policy.
No meeting.
Any? Southwest Metro?
We had our monthly meeting of Southwest Metro last Tuesday, and it was an organizational meeting just like we had in our own district a week or so ago. And the meeting date had some conflict with some of the other member districts, so we kept it very short, and there were just a few items, but no presentations.
And CPAC?
No CPAC meeting.
Community Ed and Wellness or Kim, there's nothing there. Early Childhood?
I've got some updates from early childhood. There's a new preschool brochure out for the coming school year. And so far they have 151 students registered for the coming year, and that's 30 more than they had this time last year for that program. And the winter activities continue. The Let's Play Saturdays are going on until the end of March. And there'll be early childhood screening this Saturday at Memories and Milestones, and then they also have it on Thursday afternoons at the CEC. And there will be an early learning parent advisory committee meeting tomorrow. That's it.
Matt, fitness and aquatics, not here. Oh, Superintendent Dipburner, got some good news?
Yeah, well, one thing I got to announce update is calendar. We're still waiting from the State Department to approve our calendar. So I know we had a few calls come in from parents trying to make plans for next year. And we're hopeful that in the next couple weeks, we'll hear from the Department of Education to approve our calendar for 2022-23. So we're still on hold, and hopefully I'll have some news at our before our next meeting. The other thing is we're continuing to stay we're committed to staying in-person learning. Like I mentioned at the last meeting, staff's been great about covering from within. You know, the number of absences are right now, knock on wood, are very low. In fact, we did not have any teachers out today in regards to relation to COVID or anything like that. So it's very positive. We're hoping it's reached its peak, and we feel it's pretty confident it's going down. Our main thing, obviously, is that you know, we see the decrease, which we did a little bit last week, and hopefully more this week too. So we're hanging in there. I'm confident we'll make it through and continue in-person learning. That's all I got.
Any have a resolution?
Yes, and the resolution deals with the American Indian Parent Advisory Committee, and this resolution will be presented by a member of that committee.
I have Jean. She is our parent chair of our Indian Education Committee here to read our resolution. In previous years, our school board has read the resolution for us. However, the Department of Ed has asked that our chair reads the resolution to you. So tonight, I have Jean reading that for your approval tonight.
Hi. Okay, the American Indian Parent Advisory Committee resolution. Whereas the school board or district has an AIPAC composed of parents or guardians of American Indian children who are eligible for Indian education programs, American Indian language and culture teachers and paraprofessionals, American Indian teachers, American Indian counselors, American Indian adults enrolled in educational programming, and American Indian representatives from community. Whereas the school board or district affords the AIPAC the necessary information and the opportunity to effectively express their views concerning all aspects of American Indian education and the educational needs of the American Indian children enrolled in the schools and programs. And whereas the AIPAC is directly involved with and advises the school board and district staff on Indian education program planning, and whereas the AIPAC develops and submits recommendations to the school board and district staff pertaining to the needs of American Indian students. Therefore, be it resolved that the AIPAC concurs that the school board and district are compliant with Minnesota statute section 124D.78, and that the school board and district are meeting the needs of American Indian students.
Thank you. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to consider this resolution.
Moved.
Second.
Second, it's been moved and seconded to consider the resolution just read. How do you vote on this, Mark?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
Jean?
Yes.
Dennis, yes. Item passes 4-0. Thank you.
So can I have a motion to move into closed session for negotiations?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes
To come
4.
back out.